All right, all right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Oh, goodness. Had a good weekend. Nice and relaxed with the wife, the family. Spent time with the channel members. We had a really good meeting. Got some stuff discussed. Worked on our profiles or talked about them and everything. Everything was good. Everything was real good. Just a good weekend. Okay, honestly, just a really good weekend. And so back at it, on my way to my second signing of the morning. Had one at 8 a.m. and it went a little longer. The lady, she had to dig up some stuff, but it was nothing wrong with that. And that's just a part of it, so people get a little twisted and upset when it takes a little longer than they thought. And that's why I try to put at least a 2 hour, between each appointment. So like I had one at 8, then my next one's at 10. So I got plenty of time to get to my 10 o'clock. This is with a direct client, my 10. They're printing the documents out at the location. So there was no concern about running home and printing. So that is all taken care of. And then I got appointments in the afternoon. I got one house inspection to do, and that's pretty much it. But one of the things that has held true and keeps being proven true is that a lot of people are having all kind of notary get-togethers and meetings and stuff, and the whole time they're spending their whole time in these meetings fussing about what money they're not making from these companies that are offering fees out here. And one example of reason why you don't hear me doing a whole bunch of fussing and complaining about, or really any, is because the companies overall, to me, the companies at least I'm getting on SnapDocs and signing order, they paying me the lion's share, as well as other notaries. And it's not like, oh, they giving you grip but not me. No, like the one I did today, they paid the signing company was paid $150. It said it on the closing disclosure, $150 for the notary services. The fee to me was $100. I find it hard to complain when somebody's giving me the lion's share of the fee. I just find it hard to do that. And again, I don't know where we're going with the complaining, because my thought has always been, when you're in a business relationship or even a personal relationship with somebody or a group of people, and you have to spend all your time complaining about them, you normally break up with them and go about your business and find somebody else to be in a relationship with that doesn't cause you that level of pain and discomfort that you have to constantly whine and complain about. So my thing is, for all these people that really don't like the notary stuff, then why don't y'all go do something else? But nobody wants to go do anything else. It's like, no, I'm gonna make them do this. You're gonna pay me. And I keep hearing about meetings that people are having, and they're sitting in there for an hour or so, and over 50%, maybe even the 85% of the time, folk are complaining about the notary pay, but nobody provides a solution to the problem. That's the thing that's just tripping me out. And the thing is, a lot of these individuals are, not all of them, to me, all of them are very smart and intelligent individuals, but nobody can come up with a viable plan outside of, we're just going to not take any orders and keep paying for these memberships and keep paying to buy, all of this stuff and to be a part of this industry, but we're just not going to take any orders until they get their act together and pay us what we're due, because they know they're doing us wrong. And I'm sitting here like, do they? I mean, in this day and age of proof, you got to provide proof with stuff. People keep making all these statements and can't provide any proof. Well, it's just common sense that they have to know. Why do they have to know? Because they could say you should have known before you signed up what this business was all about. You should have known from a business perspective, this is how businesses ran. That not everybody's going to pay you the same, and that there's a thing called net 30, net 60, net 45, net 2000, 2005, all of that. They got all kinds. So you should have been aware and known, because for everything that we could say they should have known, we should have known. There's something that we should have known, even though we're telling them that they should have known. And that's the thing that we have to understand. And I'm just trying to figure out what's the solution. And I've asked multiple times over the last 2 years, and none of these individuals have come to me or to anybody and said, here's the plan. Outside of some kind of boycott, which I don't know who the boycott leader is, and you can't, and I'm like, okay, how you gonna boycott something that you don't even want to be a part of? There's a lot of individuals, a couple of guys I know that really whine and complain about this business. They really complain about this business. And I've asked them, I said, what's the plan, man? And they're like, well, I don't even do no loan closings. So, man, you don't do the loan closings, but you're complaining about something that you're not even making money in. That's what one dude told me. This was something like almost a year ago. And probably longer than that. There's a couple of guys, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude, then how are you going to help us? I mean, because you're agitating the situation, but then you don't even try to make money doing this here part of the business, but you want everybody to quit doing something that they might be making money in and hop over into doing what you're doing. I'm like, I don't understand that. And it was the same thing from another guy that does estate planning. And a lady that I know that does estate planning, they're like, well, see, I do this over here because I got tired of the loan closings. And, you know, people just need to stop doing them. And I'm like, okay, but then nobody won't get their house closed on. Nobody won't get the money that they need. Nobody won't be able to buy or sell or refinance anything. So that means that large sector of the market financially, the housing market, gets shut down. Because no notaries in America will do the work. So now we do all of that. Well, guess what? They're going to start looking at us a little bit more closely. They're going to be a lot more tighter on us. They're going to be expecting a lot more out of us. And some of the people, and people can't, already can't handle the requirement of being a notary as it is. I'm like, all of a sudden you got governments watching you, your local government checking you out even more and all of that. I'm just saying, all of a sudden your state now starts requiring you to do a lot more reporting to them, starts requiring you to follow certain things because you want this extra pay. Okay, well, then we're going to want more out of you. So I'm enjoying myself in the business. It is work. Sometimes it's hard work. Sometimes it's very not so hard work, but I'm enjoying myself. So all I'm asking y'all to do is every time somebody talk about and whine about the pay, the question is, you got to ask the two questions. I was just talking to somebody about it, wonderful young lady about it. And I said, the two questions you got to ask. How do we go about getting these multiple individual companies, because they're not a conglomerate, they're not a collective, these are individual companies running their business their own individual way. So how do we get these individual companies to agree to pay each individual business owner notary said fee, whatever that fee is? And then who sets the fee? I think I need to be over here. Who sets the fee that says this is what we're supposed to get paid? And the other question is, what is it based on? What is the fee that we're asking to be compensated based on? Because you have to communicate that to the owner of that company. This isn't something that we just say, hey, you need to pay me $150, and they'd be like, you know what, I am. Because they have people they report to. They have contracts that they've signed that they're in. So now their contract says you're supposed to get paid. They're supposed to get paid $175, and then they're gonna pay you $75. Okay. Well, in order to double what they're paying you, that means they need to get double what they're getting compensated. That's typically how it works. But if the company that they're with, that the signing company has partnered with, says, no, we're only paying you $175 for the next 2 years. This is a 2-year contract. We're only in month 3. We're not negotiating it unless there's something egregious that's coming up or a significant change, and you're just saying people just want more money. That's not good enough to break the contract and to renegotiate it. And this shows the ignorance of some people. And I know y'all don't like that word, but this shows the ignorance of some people, that they don't understand contracts. They don't understand business, because you want somebody who has a contract with another entity to break that contract just for you. Do you realize that every single strike happens when it comes to money? When it's time to negotiate, the only time they strike in the middle is if there's some kind of safety concern. A lot of times there's something really, really, really egregious, but most of the time they say, you know what, we'll wait till the contract is over. And at that point, we're negotiating in a new contract. But very rarely do you have that. You very rarely have somebody like, well, we just gonna stop. No. That, like, recently they had the post office worker, the postal worker that got unalived. And if there's certain measures that the post office can do to ensure their safety, and they refuse to do it, most people will do a walkout. They will walk out. Not necessarily a strike, but they will walk out and protest until changes happen. But most strikes from these unions that notaries keep trying to say we need to be happens after there's at the end of an agreed upon contract. Well, who are we getting into an agreed upon contract with? That's the question. Because if I did work with 134 different companies last year, and I got to double check my numbers, but I might be off by 1 or 2. But if I work with at least 100 companies, we'll just say 100. That's 100 different contracts that the group of notaries are a part of. And this is the ignorant part of the argument that people have, because nobody is thinking this thing fully and all the way through. It's, I just want more money. And then y'all fall into it by listening to them and agreeing with them. And then you sitting on the sideline, not taking any orders, not making any relationships with anybody, while that person is in a whole nother state telling you how much money you shouldn't make, because they're bragging about all the money they are making, and they're not even doing the same part of the industry that you're doing. If you say, well, I'm gonna do what they're doing, and then it don't necessarily work out the same for you there either. So now you're not making money with loan closings, you're not making money with general notary, you're not making money with hospital visits, you're not making money with Ron, you're not making money with apostille, you're not making money anywhere at all. So now you got 4 or 5 different things that you could be doing as a notary, and you ain't making money in none of them. If that's you, or you know somebody, put a 1 in the chat on this video. If that's you, that you like, well, I'm gonna do this, well, I'm not doing this because they say you can't make money, then I agree with them. Okay, fine, you agree with them. Now, are you making money with this other stuff? Are you making the money that you think you should be making, that you want to make with the other stuff that you're doing, since you ain't doing loan closings. Since loan closings is such a bad thing. That's the measurement, because if you went to a financial planner right now, you went to a bank to get a business loan, what can you tell them? What your financials gonna look like? That's the deal. So you can keep listening to these people and you can just sit there, okay, and take in what they're saying, but you need to start asking some questions, and they need to start providing some answers. And if they don't want to be asked the question, they can't provide the answers, then why are you kicking it with them? Just roll by yourself. I ain't even saying you got to come over here and hang out with me. I'm just saying just go roll by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just go do your thing. Because I think you can do it, and you don't necessarily need somebody constantly telling you how much money you shouldn't be making, or what you should be making. If you stop taking this money, then you'll automatically be making a buttload of money. It's like, all I'm asking you to do is just go out here and do what you got to do to make the money you need to make. And everything else will fall in line. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to go in here and make me some money while people sit on the sideline fussing about the money that they could be making and hoping and wishing and praying. Y'all go ahead on. I'll pick up the orders that y'all don't want, because I got a wife and sons that I got to make sure that they're taken care of. You may not have that requirement. You may not need the money like others do. But for those of us who need the financial resources that come from doing this business, the revenue, we're going to go out here and work and do what we got to do. The rest of y'all can sit on the sideline. You're just leaving more on the table for us. Talk to y'all later. Peace.